whether or not that means that the information that is provided will only be used for the purpose for which it is given. To ask it as clearly as that. The other minister, in terms of, you said that there are some members recruited or contracted as solidarity liaison officers, and I just wanted to have an idea as to how they were contracted. You know, people always want this kind of information. You know, how was it advertised? I mean, when, how, you know, how you know, join the team of solidarity officers. Just a question like that. Yeah, man. Uh, and then the other thing that you didn't answer, Minister, was in terms of when the portal, for want of a better word, is open to each group. The MPs, when is the start? The earliest possible date. Yeah, all things being equal, that we could hope to begin uploading the other phases as well.
As it relates to the Data Protection Act, the form, the attestation form is actually in your package, so you could look on it. And the form, the agreement has a declaration that indicates that the data may be utilized. Because remember, we have partners, so this is a program that will require us to collaborate with other stakeholders. So it lays out exactly what the parameters are in terms of the use of the person's data and asks for them to give the regular consent in that regard. It's a pretty, I'd say, ordinary form in terms of its clauses, just to advance protection for the individual. Also, in terms of the solidarity officers, I'm not a human resource officer, but I could try and get the HR, if you want, to give you some details. But I gather it's the normal process of ensuring that we get the right persons to do the right job.
Not in clarity, Minister. I'll await the response from your HR officer through you. Minister, I just got the documents. They're kind of fine and tiny. And with the glasses that I actually use, with the glasses I actually use, it's going to take a little time. I have to take it off to read it. But Minister, I was struck by what you said, though, about partners who you might need to share the information with. And I understand that. We're talking about several government agencies and different programs and so on. But I couldn't come in here and don't ask you, because when I go home, people can ask me in the constituency. I think what we really want to make sure is that in the same way persons expect us as members of parliament to upload, put in the data and upload it, we want to make sure that when it gets to your office, Minister, that it is shared with government agencies, and that it actually does not fall in the hands of political hacks.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank colleagues for the questions. The last, well, I don't know if it's a question or a comment, but the basis of the Data Protection Act, member, is that it has within it clauses that allow for you to do just that, to protect yourself. And there's no intention on our part to do anything with the data other than to help people who need the help. I don't know if you have some information that I don't have, but if you, and I welcome you to provide me with that detail so we can attend to it. Otherwise, we're going to do what we do daily, Because this is not, again, this may be new to some, but this is not new to us. We collect data daily, 365 days a year, to protect and assist persons in this country, from PATH to social pension to rehabilitation. At the Ministry of Labor, we do that every day, and we have never had, at least to my knowledge, any issue in terms of a data breach. So again, if you know something that I don't know, or if you have been given some question that you think might cause some concern, I am open to you and available for any discussion that can assist you.
The member from Southwest, Clarendon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Minister, earlier you made reference to the verification process, and you spoke to the data analytics and system verification. Then you spoke to the justice of the peace signing some document that should be uploaded. How will the system be able to verify whether or not the JP that signed that document is in fact commissioned to be a JP and authorized to sign as a JP? You see the dangers of it. And then we're looking now at the payment methodologies. So you spoke to bank transfers, you spoke to Paymaster. How will the intended beneficiary be notified that they have been selected for the program? And in the case of where they are to collect, how will they be notified as to where they are to collect? In terms of the program itself, and given the timelines that you have provided, I think we are in a very dangerous window where it is not a matter of what your intention is, Minister, but the perception. And sometimes perception outweighs reality. And it would be very unfortunate for the ministry to be cast into disrepute were a certain event to happen in the middle of the process of disbursement. So what safeguards are there to protect the reputation of the ministry? And it's a very serious point. And I make that point with the greatest of sincerity. I am not saying that is a bad program, but I am saying that the window and the timelines you have provided, to date you have not specifically said.
Member, please stick to the line of question.
Yes,
please.
what's a question?
Please stick to the line of question,
thank
member.
You, one
thank
day,
you.
Busha.
No problem. Stick to the line of questions,
Thank
please.
you, one day, Busha. The point is a question. So the question is, what safeguards are there? You must listen to the question. To ensure that the reputation of the ministry is not brought into disrepute. It's a serious question, and I know you appreciate it. My next question is, can you say with any clarity when the window will be open? Because I still not have heard, especially for the first phase. Also, importantly, we're in an unprecedented, and the question again, what safeguards are there to ensure that the members of parliament who are requested to submit names submit names for those who actually reside within the constituencies they currently represent, as opposed to the constituencies they plan to represent. And I know why I asked the question. It's a serious question. I know why I asked the question, Minister. No, I don't care. I don't care. If people put you here to represent them until you are represent you lose somewhere else. Those are my questions.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Member, can you allow the minister to answer your question, please? Thanks.
I'm pleased, Mr. Speaker, to note that the Solidarity Program is eliciting such excitement from colleagues on both sides. I know. I know that.
Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the ways of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law do we meditate day and night. For we shall be like trees planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth our fruit in our season. Our leaves shall not wither, and whatsoever we do shall prosper. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. Hallelujah. Father, we want to give you thanks this evening for your loving kindness and your mercies towards us. We give you thanks for everything that you have done and everything that you continue to do. Almighty God, you see and you know all things. And as you said to us in your word, the Lord Jesus Christ is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He, the Almighty God, restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though Colin Anthony Bell walk through the valley of the shadows of death, will fear no evil, for the Lord Jesus Christ is with us. His rod and his staff, that's what comforts us. The Lord Jesus Christ prepare a table before Colin Anthony Bell in the presence of my enemies. He anointeth Colin Anthony Bell head with oil. Colin Anthony Shakafia Bell cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And Colin Anthony Bell will dwell in the house of the Lord Jesus Christ forever and ever. Blessed, yes, man. Fret not thyself of evildoers. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. I want to say welcome to the people on Caribbean Radio HD. Yes, I. So we stand in the judgment. This, my people, as I've been saying to you, is not a job for me. This, what I do here, is my work. This is my work. And I do it none the less. Whether we are earned or we not earned, we do it as a responsibility. And what we speak, we call out the truth. And we said to you that if we have said something on the show and we're wrong about it, we are going to come back and say to you, yo, we're wrong about that. So on the program Saturday, and there are two videos on Portland Spice TV. People, you must go listen to them 2 videos. There are 2 videos on Portland Spice TV at YouTube. Ralston Hyman face-to-face with Marlon Morgan Saturday morning. But what I was going to say first, that was bringing me into this. So let me continue. Saturday morning on the program with Marlon Morgan, we spoke about the IC only able to certify a minuscule amount of the application to it. Marlon said that, and I insist that he was wrong. No, well, he was right. What I was referring to was to parliamentarians. But in general, they have received over 190,000 and they have only certified about 3,000 change. That's overall, but as it relates to the parliamentarian, they have always addressed the parliamentarian. In fact, they are saying that the parliamentarian they are at a 87% compliant. 87%. So that's what I was referring to. So it would read, or you would hear it to say that no, they have certified most of what they received. No, he was right. They only certified a minuscule amount. And we tell you, when we wrong, we admit say we wrong, because what we are coming with is facts. That is what we deliver. So whether you're green or you're orange, it is the truth that is our mantra. That is what we lay down. And I have always said to you that truth and the GLP have no lot in our part, because they are not of that nature. So, I know there's a video going around. Yeah? There is a video going around, and yeah. Whenever the time is right, we will speak to that video. Whenever the time is right. So, peeps, things are showing up more and more now. More and more things are showing up. And we have some things to bring to the item today. We have some things to bring to our attention. You see, I've said this here before. We are all human beings living on this planet. Whether you're black, yellow, white, or blue, we are children of the Most High. I've always said all men are not equal. No time. However, there must be equal opportunity. So there's a difference. There's a difference. And when we, in an election period, and less than 3 months before an election, you are offering to give unattached and vulnerable people $20,000. And you don't expect people to look at it funny. The truth, though, is whether it is this time or it was in your second year of your first term or your second term, you do this. I would still be opposed to this $20,000. As you all know, I was opposed to the first $20,000. And what I've been trying to say to Jamaicans, you can't run a business And the first time you see a piece of money to improve the business, you give it out in a bonus. That's not how you operate a business. That bonus is not sustainable. We are a country that have not seen this kind of fiscal space in a very long time. I don't think we have ever seen this kind of fiscal space. And what I've been saying to all of you is that Andrew Holness and the cabinet and the Labour Party, they are squandering the gains. They have squandered the gains. $12.4 billion should have been invested in agriculture, culture and the creative industry, new energy, renewable energy. This is crazy. We are not at that place yet. You're frightened because you never laid the foundation. A couple dollars frighten you. And you say, give it to the people, make them eat it. This evening, I intend to show you what $20 can really do. $20,000. It's like $20 for real. $20,000. What can it do? It is a consumption effort. It is investing in consumption. And you are not the seller, you are the buyer. So $20,000 can only buy a basket of food for a week for a family of 3. If you're shopping at some of those affordable supermarket, if you're shopping at a rural shop in a rural community, you can't that might can't hold you neither. So it's a week of food. 1 year style. A night at a party. I don't say, when you see your infrastructure to where it is, because you see, there's another thing, There's another thing that we're missing. People are saying that we in less debt and whatever. With all we attack and GDP are go down, our real debt though, the real money where we owe, 2.2 trillion. That not going down, that has gone up since 2016. That has increased. So really, in simple matter, when you say how much we owe 2.2 trillion. It's 2.2 trillion. And I think in 2016 we owed 2 trillion. So the debt is still higher than what it was. With a weaker dollar. So people have to understand the economy when you look on it, when you work it out to dollars and cents, and leave the ratio. Because the real dollar is that we owe, I think, 2.2 trillion. That's Jamaica's debt. US dollars that we are talking about, not Jamaican. So, our thing is about production. You're giving $20,000 to go buy some food. Somebody for go do them here and party. So Saturday morning, Marlon Morgan ran in. And I am going to let my listeners, Nicky Boo, good evening. Good evening, Sister Christine. Leaford Palmer, good evening. We want to talk about those babies. Can I see? You see your life stay? Some babies died in 2015. Think at 18 over about 3 different hospitals, which was very sad. And it was politicized in a way you would never imagine. Till the then opposition leader, now Prime Minister, came out and lied to us blatantly, openly, lied to us. People take it as a joke. Him saying, hear the dead baby crying. Him hear the spirit of a dead baby crying. Crying. Yeah. Him saying, hear the spirit of a dead baby crying. We're not getting anything. You should be hearing this. Yes, the Prime Minister, then opposition leader, and they insisted that Fenton Ferguson must be sent home, must lose the job as health minister. And right now, is what? 23? Die in one place. And Mr. Speaker, I now ask for your consent that the Senate amendment to bill and I don't know why you're not hearing this. I have something I wanted you to hear, listeners and viewers. But I was hoping that it would play from this device. Not getting it, so I'm just going to move it to another device so I can play it for you. Because these things people take for joke, you know. But the Prime Minister, then opposition leader, came out and lied to us. You can't hear dead baby a cry? Oh, no, I see the problem. Oh, you ever hear dead baby cry? Eh? Prime Minister. Let me just get this. Just find out how you how you can hear dead babies crying?
This government does not hear about your health. I hear the spirit of a little baby crying, saying, why did the people keep the Labour Party government in? If the Labour Party government was in, I would still be alive. I hear the spirit of the baby that have died because of the consequence of this government.
Hey, I'll tell you something. This man is a creative. Andrew is a star. Listen to this performance again. Classic performance by Andrew Holness. This figure in a movie. Let me tell you something. So the creative industry is where Jamaica's riches lies. And this man is talented. Listen.
Government does not hear about your health. This government does not hear about your health. I hear the spirit of a little baby crying, saying, why did the people keep the Labour Party government in? If the Labour Party government was in, I would still be alive. I hear the spirit of the baby that have died because of the consequence of this government.
People. No, no, I'm not clapping at the seriousness of the matter or laughing at that. No, I'm just looking at the performance. And those of you who can go see the video, you can see the video. You can see the video.
Does not hear about your death. I hear the spirit of a little baby crying, 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 saying, why did the people keep the Labour Party government in? If the Labour Party government was in, I would still be alive. I hear the spirit of the babies that are died because of the repugnance of this government.
Talk to me. Somebody talk to me. 804 7072 305 654 7944. He heard the spirit of a little baby crying, saying, why? Why? 18 babies. He called number. Mr. Oldness, are you hearing any babies crying? Mr. Wholeness, you called for the resignation or the firing. You called. Here's 23. 23. Good evening. Welcome, Caribbean Radio.
Evening, Colin.
Welcome to Caribbean Radio, sir.
Well, me I tell you, say, Mr. Holness is one of the best storytellers that I ever come across.
Hey.
They say Shane Wan Australia was a good storyteller, but in Shane Wan pass on and gone, but Mr. Holness beat him.
No, listen. The man can drama. The man have it. The man have it.
My brother.
And yeah, listen. I don't rate him as a prime minister, but as an actor,
yes,
you got it. You got it going on, Joe.
Number one in the Caribbean, man.
As an actor, oh God, no.
My.
And then he puts on that performance, and here he is now. Basically, a statement from the Minister of Health saying that they're not going to do the PNP, though.
Lord of His mercy. Let me tell you something. I'm not cut you, but listen to me. All Mr. Holness I do, I turn and call back one cut off cow skin. Simple.
All right, my boss. Respect.
All right. Big up yourself, man, and big up the program, you know?
Yeah, man. 876-804-7072 503. Sorry, that's 305-654-7944. What can go so? Tomorrow, there's a Portland tour that starts tomorrow, end on Thursday, with a mass meeting in Buff Bay. The tour starts at Hector's River, and it covers the entire parish. For the first time, a party leader is touring the parish in 2 days, giving the kind of attention that is needed. Giving the kind of attention. But trying to call one of my brethren from morning, and I haven't gotten to him. But this issue is somebody that I must talk to about it. Must talk to him about it. And if you check it, it's not just 23 babies, because that is just at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital. And I think, spoke with Dr. Dawes today, I think he need to do a check around the country, around the island, and see where we really are. So, the thing is falling apart. Falling apart. So, there is a clip that I'm going to play that I'm going to ask everybody parental guidance on this clip. And this clip we call for parental guidance. Caribbean Radio, I'm going to play this clip only once. Just once. Caribbean Radio, good afternoon.
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. You're not hearing me? Hello? Well, it seems like the caller not hearing me. This clip. Yes, good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Colin.
Yes, Marshy.
How you do?
They are concerned and no,
I have to make sure,
taking the work much more serious.
I have to make sure. Say your name Colin Bell,
Yes, sir. Colin Bell.
I don't want to call you and your name is a effing Bell.
Hallelujah. Tell her. No, Marsh, as I said to the people on Caribbean Radio, warning them, that I'm going to play a clip, and this clip is coming from a political stage. I'm only going to play it once. I don't know if you want to hold on and make me play it, Marsh, and then we can discuss it.
It's Caribbean is a free to hear radio, you have to go believe it.
Yeah, well, it's internet radio. So make we hear this. Make we listen.
Right.
Make we listen this. Make we listen this.
And they need and they're greedy. So work with them. I've been to constituency of this country. They complain about the member of parliament. And as saying St. Mary, in my constituency, they complain. In Andrew Holness, they complain. You can't satisfy every right. But if you don't like the MP, it's a feedback man. The feedback man. The issue is, you may not like the MP. Lord man, turn it down, it's a feedback to my ears. Make him every go say, look, the issue is, stop complaining. As I said at the constituencies, you may not like him, member of parliament. You don't want him. He may be an asshole. But maybe him better than PMP asshole. Yes. So work with him. If you think you'll vote with George right, when the behind the screen, close your eyes. We're not using language just now. But using F, your eyes. And say, me a vote for Andrew Holness. Now that's right. Don't stay home. Vote for your party. There's a reason anywhere must stay home and vote for a candidate. You like a candidate? Vote for Andrew Holness, little party. Put the X beside the fucking bell.
You hear that?
Can you get it worse than that?
You hear that?
Can you get it worse than that?
Is that coming from a political stage?
But
at a political meeting?
When he apologized, who listening to him? No. I know you as Colin Bell, but another man, now him describe you as stink and flee.
You mean that same man?
Yeah.
That,
and in this curling brown.
That very same man.
You could go on and on and on. And when it comes to apologize, Andrew Warren is in agreement with him.
Listen, let me tell you something. Mark Golding has said to this nation, when the head of the stream is dirty, the whole stream I got dirty. Because the head now can't clean up down below, you know. Because the head ain't clean. So how can we have people like these sitting in the parliament disrespecting the citizens of the country? Are we really attacked to so? Who him really attacked to so? Is he speaking to my Jamaican brothers and sisters? I tell them, you know, injustice to one is injustice to all.
Same, sir.
And see him him diss me, him or diss other
Colin,
people. See him him diss Lisa.
Darrell Vaz. I think in a Port Antonio do it. Darrell Vaz. And then left the superintendent of police with some textile.
Yes, I remember that.
Yes.
I remember that.
Anything new. And Juliet Cuthbert, when me don't know if a jails or fine action, she has to use clean fair mouth. When she laced one of her constituents with some breed of word, that nobody can kiss Juliet Cuthbert. Because with them, the dirtiness when it comes from her mouth. So I do one of them over there. And what the Prime Minister do? The Prime Minister do nothing. But you see, concerning the FID business, they have a saying, say, it better late than never, but it better never late. And all of a sudden, something must not please somebody from the private sector. Now them start talk out.
You see, let me tell you something. You see people like Ralston Hyman, Conrad O'Brien, Simon Kraskill, Colin Bell, people like you, Marshy, who have been calling and criticizing the government. We were better friends to the government than to the people who supported them.
Of course.
Because we saw the trend and been saying to them, listen, these things are wrong.
Yes.
But like Paul Bogle, them when we said these things are wrong, them think we're weak and them things say we don't like them. But how can we have our leaders chewing away the gains of the country and not saying anything? Hold on, Marshy. Hold on. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Mr. Bell, how you do, my brother?
Neville, hold the line for me. Don't hang up. I'm coming right back to you. Let me just finish with Marshy. Yes, Marshy. So wrap up because I have Neville upon the next line.
Because me upon an emergency and me have to go cut. So bless up yourself. Yes, I bless up yourself. Me have to cut. Good.
Neville.
Yes.
Good evening.
Mr. Bell.
Yes, sir.
Oh, God. Make we point. Make we keep it at a very respectable level, no man. Why you allow the call up to use both Dre's and sorry about
what?
Sorry about that. Why you allow the call up to use both Dre's and this in mouth, man? Make we point no Colin, man, and keep it.
I agree. Right, that is bad, don't.
All right.
It not sound good, not true.
It can't sound good.
Me agree with you, it not sound good at all, not true.
Yes.
You can't style people, so not true.
Yes, I know where you're going. Continue.
You know where me I go? You know where me I go? It's not where I am going, it's where I am at. What was I referred to at to my face?
Yes.
Yes? Mm-hmm. Chink. I me what I'm intended to call chink fly, you forgot? Eh?
And anyway, the leadership.
See the hypocrite, them a galang there. See the hypocrite, them a galang there. Down there.
Please allow me to make my point.
Dip, diplomatic. See the hypocrite, them a galang there. See the hypocrite, them a galang there. Down there. How dare you? Hold on. How dare you call my show and criticize somebody who refer to somebody in the GLP as they might want to jizz, and you come and try to justify it? to defend it.
No.
When
Colin.
a minister that my taxpayers pay look at me and refer to me as a chink, flee and fly.
Two wrongs. All right, look on the level of bias. Why when JLP caller comes on your program, you do everything to disrupt what they have to say. You allow the PNP caller to just flow undisrupted, Colin. Why you do that?
Let me tell you why. You want to answer or you just want me allow you to speak?
You answer, no, Colin.
When people come on my platform to dump out their garbage, we are not going to allow it. We are radical in keeping our environment clean and sterile. We allow contending views, but we ask for the truth.
All right. Look how you show up a very high level of biasness on your program this afternoon. You play the Warmington comment, and you tell the caretaker against Minister Green make a comment, I think it was on Sunday. And you don't play that one to show.
What was that comment?
Hello?
What was that comment?
Where she talk about we have to go war them.
Oh,
you remember?
Hold on, man.
Pick it up.
Hold on, you talk the one with Miranda Wellington. We say, hold on. We say she prepare for anything and if a war. Me want to know what she mean to somebody when me know and talk to. So me want to know what she mean by if a war. Me I go call her and ask her. Because same like how me want to know what Desmond Mackenzie mean when him say he will never surrender Jamaica to the PNP again. Same so me want to know what Miranda mean when she say if a war. And I am going to tell you this. I am going to call her. And I want to bring her on to basically explain that for us.
Yes.
Same like how I want Desmond to come and explain where the backside he mean.
The next point I want to bring to your attention. The Jamaican people as invested in the Labour Party like when you buy shares in company. And the Jamaica Labour Party has grown this economy that the economy has
Nevio. That is not true.
Look, I finished the point.
No, I cannot. That's what I said to you, when you come and a dump out garbage, I'm not going to allow it. So what you just said a while ago has to be corrected before you continue.
Mr. Bell.
You said, hold on, you said that this government has grown the economy. What was the percentage of growth in 2024?
Mr. Bell.
No, call me. Tell me the answer to the question.
2024, we have a hit.
We have a what?
And we have a hurricane. And we're just coming back out of the pandemic. But before the pandemic, the economy have grown and the Jamaica government makes surplus.
Hello? Hold on. That is not true. We recovered from the pandemic to where we were before the pandemic. And then we start decelerating. In fact, we had 10 quarters of deceleration, meaning the economy started to slow down. And in the third and fourth quarter of 2024, we had a decline, negative growth, 3.8% in the third quarter, 0.8% in the fourth quarter. Where is the growth that you mentioned a while ago? Don't come here with it.
I am not going to dispute what you're saying about last year. You cannot dispute
what I say.
But the point I'm making, the economy, remember that the Labour Party in power for just over 9 years,
But listen to Nevio, if you say the economy has grown, you must show us that growth or withdraw that argument.
I cannot withdraw an argument because I'm not singling out two particular here. The Labour Party in power for just under 10 years.
So hold on. May I ask you a question now? So because the economy declined 2024 and still in a stagnation in 2025, you can't accept that.
No. I'm not saying.
No, but what I'm saying to you, the argument that you just put forward that the GLP has grown the economy is a lie. And you will not. It is a lie. The economy has not grown. The economy is not growing.
2017, the economy and the GLP has not grown.
It grew in 2017. There was.
It grew in 2018.
Yes, there was growth.
It grew in 2019.
Yes, there was growth.
To the point I'm making, not stingling out.
Now, all right, Neville, I'm going to show you so you can't make the point that way there. Because unless you say what is happening now is not the real trajectory. What is happening now is an anomaly, so we don't have to hold it against the government. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
But if you say that, Neville, hold on. If you say that, then you must say that you can't give the government the credit for the crime rate that has fallen.
No,
but it stands to reason. Hold on. Let me ask you a question then. In 2017, did we have an increase in murder in Jamaica?
I'm not disputing that.
Answer the question like how me answer when you asked me a while ago.
Yes.
In 2018, did we have an increase in murder in Jamaica?
Yes.
In 2019.
Hello?
Yes, in 2019, did the murder rate up the same way?
I don't remember that one.
You can't remember. Listen what me I said to you, Neville. The murder rate dropped now. The government is claiming it. The economic drop now. Them have to hold that too. The economy is failing now. So for you to be out there telling people about the economy is growing, all of you are a set of liars out there lying to the Jamaican population. In 2024, the economy failed.
You remember the days when you guys used to attack anti-owners or say to the Jamaican people that they can't sleep with their door and window open until the crime have gone up in the
Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. You can't sleep with the door and your window them open now?
We get in there. We get in there, Colin.
Yes or no? Can you sleep with your doors and your windows opening now? Open now.
Colin, we get in there.
So that argument still has not been materialized.
Colin.
That rubbish argument, but we can't sleep with the door and window open, is still another lie that was told to the people of Jamaica. It's a lie.
Colin, in the early days, let me finish this point. In the early days of the GLP government, when crime were up, they just take over the country from the government with just the name of police force. We never have a police force equipped to fight crime. And it needs time for the investment to put in. And the government have put in billions of dollars in the police force. And we are reaping the benefit now.
Neville, let me say this to you. Let me say this to you. When Andrew Holness took over in 2016,
yes,
the crime rate up until 2024, excluding this year, 2024, there's a 25% increase in murder under Andrew Holness. 25% up to last year. And we never measure crime, we never measure murder upon half year and 3 months. It's normally upon the year. So if we're looking at the statistics on the year, murders are still up 25%. When this year done, we're going to add this year number to it and divide it again and tell you where. And when you look at it, you might end up to about an increase of about 18%.
I am not here to try and convince you. I am
no,
here
but
to
you want to come here to tell lies? It ain't going to happen, boy. Not on this one. It ain't going to happen. I want to give some other people a chance, so it's over 10 minutes. Me have your answer. Big up yourself, Neville. One love. Come with the truth. Make truth your mantra. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show on Caribbean Radio.
Evening, Mr. Bell.
Blessings, my brother.
What was the significant argument going into the last weekend?
The babies.
The significant argument going into last weekend, right?
Yeah, the
Was
babies.
the dead baby
yes
issue
yes
and with Christopher Tufton.
yes and
So you see this. So you see this narrative with Warmington is a detractor from the substantive argument.
Yeah, man. But it is also
so
go ahead.
So you see what Warmington did? It wasn't coincident, you know. This wasn't coincident, you know. This was planned. Because if you notice, Warmington never end up in Christiana where Andrew Wallace was.
No.
Right?
Yes.
So them sitting where the Prime Minister weren't going to be.
Right, because it would have looked worse if he did say that to the Prime Minister on stage.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
Calculated.
Exactly.
Calculated.
So you see the media from Sunday night, right? Social media, mainstream media, turn the attention to what Warmington said.
I guess it there, yeah.
Nationwide did the same thing about Christopher Tufton and the 24 baby that died, you know, at Jubilee, you know. Right?
And then
yesterday morning, the first thing Cliff Hughes jump on was Warmington.
Yeah, man. And I say Warmington.
What about the substantive argument of the babies? Why everybody feel like they brush that aside and pay attention to what Warmington said?
Why are trying to
We
find...
know Warmington. Warmington, I'm going to say, but it was scripted and planned to change the narrative from Christopher Tufton.
Well,
the PMP need to keep them foot in the neck of this argument about the babies.
But it's not just the PNP; it is the people of Jamaica that needs to cry out on this. You know. I heard Andrew Holness say something. A statement Andrew Holness made, and Jamaican people don't realize. You know, the man say him no want no opposition for hold him accountable.
Exactly.
The people them in the people them in our party must hold him accountable. Now we must remember, you know, it's 21% of the population voted for the GLP in 2020. So the man is saying to 79% of Jamaicans, me not listen to you, me not want to hear from you.
From you, exactly.
The people them in the people them that vote for me, are them me I listen to right now.
And them me I
listen to nobody else. And that is why the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce come out. The PSOG finally come out because the behavior of this government is undoubtedly clear now, you know.
You see why Mr. Siaga come out now, you know. Right? Obviously. There's a sour deal somewhere along the line where
I not just deal. The thing them get too blatant. The things where this government get too blatant.
He realize them not directive to lead this country forward. You know, that's the next issue, right? And him say the private sector lose.
Yeah, man. But if him company lose, when you listen to the financial report this morning, his company got a major whack. When I say whack, I mean get good. A major hit as it relates to their profit. Yeah, never good. Never good.
You see, we them don't want people who think outside of the box to hold them accountable for the things that they are doing and the things that they are not doing. Right? And it cannot be the same. It cannot be the same. Right? And Jamaican people have to really open up them eyes and say this is not the right direction. This is not the right direction.
We're down the wrong road, man.
Yes, man, we are going down the wrong road.
Hold on there.
We're definitely going down the wrong road.
Hold on there.
Competent taste of honey, rum, and lime.
All right. Hold on. Yeah, man. We are going down the wrong route, brother. Way down the wrong route. And then you hear this man want come over here to come talk about economy and grow. And who grow
but
economy.
Listen to me now.
What growth?
You see, it's in the Nevis a Siaga labor right now.
Hold on there for me. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, Nevis a Siaga labor right now. So you're not going to get any better from him, you know. Right? You're not going to get any better from him. Him know the facts. but him a try steer a narrative where it not gonna work.
Can't
It not
work,
gonna work.
brother.
And you see, young people will take on to what's happening and see the real thing and shun away from what them a try to do.
Hold on,
Right?
hold on,
Shun
my
away
brother.
from
Hold
what them a try
on,
to
hold
do.
on, Carla, hold on.
Decided to keep its policy interest rate unchanged at
Hold on.
5.75% per annum, pointing to a stable inflation outlook despite ongoing global economic uncertainty. In a statement following its latest Monetary Policy Committee meetings, the central bank said the current monetary stance remains appropriate to maintain inflation within its 4 to 6% target range over the next 2 years. The decision comes amid global headwinds, including uncertain trade policies, possible interest rate changes in major developed countries, and heightened geopolitical tensions. The BOJ cautioned that these factors could raise the risk of higher inflation, but maintained that domestic conditions remain under control. According to the Statistical Institute of Jamaica, inflation in Jamaica stood at 5.2% in May 2025, the same rate as a year earlier. The committee also noted that inflation expectations in the private sector have stabilized, and international commodity prices, including grains, oil, and liquefied natural gas, have generally been trending downward. But it warned that renewed geopolitical tensions could reverse these gains and increase price pressures. In addition to its interest rate decision, the BOJ said it will continue efforts to maintain stability in the foreign exchange market, an essential pillar of economic stability. And the central bank yesterday intervened in the foreign exchange market with $45 million in an effort to satisfy the excess demand, which was $38 million US dollars. This marks the 19th intervention in the market since the start of this year.
19.
Tropical Battery is reporting that its net profits tumbled by 90% to $2.78 million during its second quarter ending March 31. Gross revenues for the period climbed by 5.1% to $1.63 billion, compared with $1.5 billion during the similar period last year. Tropical Battery is, however, reporting that its total comprehensive income climbed by 15% to $28.1 million, compared with $24 million last year. The Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce is advising importers of lithium-ion batteries that, effective today, July 1, the common external tariff on the commodity will be suspended until June 30, 2027. This means no duty should be paid on the commodity during the period. The ministry says this move is critical to the development of the country's renewable energy sector because lithium-ion batteries are efficient, versatile, and environmentally sustainable. It will help the country meet the target to have 30% of its energy capacity in renewables by 2030. Cambios and authorized dealers are selling the US dollar for an average $160.36. The Canadian dollar is being sold for $119.37, while the going rate for the pound is $218.99. The euro is selling for $191.82. And finally, the Metrosiaga-led JFP is reporting an 88% tumble in its net profits for the March quarter to $475,000, an 88% decline compared with $3.8 million in the previous year. Revenue declined by 30% to $112 million. The company, however, stressed that it compressed its cost structure in order to compensate for the decline in revenues. This contributed to a 46% tumble in its cost of sales, and Mr. Siaga says business was robust during the first half of this year compared with last year.
All right, so I play that, and it's two companies in that. And you hear? They lost money. Two of them, Metro Siaga, profit tumbled by 87%. Yeah?
See,
Tropical battery almost the same thing. Every week, this is what is happening in the financial sector.
It come at the right time for much to say again. Yeah, man. It come at the right time because when time Andrew for money for run for election, he not gonna get what I expect. Yeah,
Brother,
man, it come at the right time, man.
all the companies are losing money. Yeah? Profit dropping. And this man I try come here so come tell you about economy and grow.
Try
Economy?
get Ralston man back tomorrow evening.
Well,
Try get Ralston back tomorrow evening.
I told the listeners, on Caribbean Radio everywhere, check out my YouTube channel, Portland Spice TV. Saturday morning, we had Ralston Iman and Marlon Morgan running. Say more of a discussion with Ralston Iman. Yeah, man. And all them little generalship people, the little generalship, what them are telling us,
Marlon turn away from the argument.
Yeah, man, talk about
Marlon can't manage Ralston, man.
What is happening is that the government is trying to say to people that when you do driver's license, it's not a tax. When you license your car and pay this and pay them there, are not tax. They are fees. They are all taxes. All of them are taxes.
They are, of course, they are taxes.
All taxes.
So hold on.
Everything what government collect.
Which part them pay?
Everything what government collect. We're going at the
Colin,
consolidated fund.
Which part you pay for your driver's license?
No tax office, man.
Okay.
Tax office,
Okay. All right. That don't need to say anything more.
So that was one of the things that he was trying to say. So people, want to go look on them two videos then. Look on them two.
Yeah, man.
You see the lies.
Me for the program. Me for the program and me see about the video them. Me see about the video them up on the YouTube.
Yes, man. Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my brother. Respect. We get somebody else.
Yeah, man. Respect, Colin.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
We're going to have a chat with Doreen Campbell now. I will call up Doreen Campbell, the MP candidate for West Portland. Good morning. Good afternoon. Welcome to Caribbean Radio.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bell.
Wagwan, my brother.
Yesterday, I called in our program and I tell them, say, do not take up one argument. There's a bigger issue. It's there to talk about. Right? And they must say, no. I said, no. Warmington is a long-standing thing Warmington do to distract problem in JLP. Right? Nobody talk about the dead baby yesterday now.
But the police must charge
talk
him.
About
and we must talk about the dead baby. Because that is the big thing. What the police need to do is charge Warmington. Yeah.
Right. So as you call it before, say.
Hold on. Nadia.
Yeah.
Nadia, who must block? Nard Star, who must block? Who must block? Tell me. All right. Continue, my brother.
Yeah, as the gentleman said, it was a planting. Right? Take off the dead baby argument from off of the airwave off of people's mind. Right? Because that's the first one time come out and say them thing here. Is that the first one? And the same old story. No back to POJ. POJ smell a rat. They smell a rat. So they want to be in the good book of when PMP comes in power. They smell a rat.
Marcia, good evening, Cynthia, Servant David, big up yourself, Caribbean Radio.
They smell a rat.
I think so.
Next thing
but here the next thing we have to admit, the thing them too blatant. And anybody when you call out them a blatant something. Why you have a block the request for the information? Why you change this job description for Dennis Strong? Hold on for my brother. Hold on.
Right.
Hold on. Hello, good evening. Good evening.
Colin.
Welcome to Caribbean Radio.
I'm a dada. Yeah, the man say country grow. So why food can buy?
Why who?
He say the man say country and grow. How food are there?
Now, you sound muffled. You have a speaker, you have in a headpiece.
No,
you have to talk straight in the phone. Kind of sound.
Yeah, go
on, let me hear.
Yeah, say the man say country and grow. So how food are there? How food can buy?
Then that, brother. Then that them a tell poor people, that them a take poor people for fool. You know, you're the man chat to the people them in Westmoreland now, then take people for fool.
2016.
Lock your eye. So
2016, I told that 100. 100 right now.
How much for bread now? Sound like you have me on speaker, man, or you're having a headpiece. You have talking at the phone.
Yeah, you know?
Yes, man. I somehow I hear you.
All right. Yeah, there's 2016. One bird every 200 other for one bird. And I still only have one bird right now. So all things are grow.
Yeah, cost of living a grow. Cost of living a grow. That is what is growing. That is the growth. Cost of living. How much you used to pay for your light bill 2016, how much you are paying now, and you don't have nothing different in the house?
Nothing different, brother.
How much you are paying now?
Cool, but the thing is, it's a one we can go on with, it's a deep section, brother. It's a deep section for the issue we are going, brother.
But listen, we can talk about everything. So that now go distract we. Me soon make you hear Andrew again in our performance. And the things that he called for then, he must deliver them to the Jamaica people now.
Don't stop beating them, man. Don't stop beating them, daddy. Don't stop it.
All right, little more.
Yeah.
Yes, my brethren. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Bell.
Yes, sir. Sorry about it.
I really say you take with them land and they will come back for it.
Me take with them land.
Yeah. Because they want the land and you can take it as a little black man.
Yeah. You know.
So they come for it. They come back for it.
Me I wonder if none of that St. Elizabeth.
Well, I know them say you take with them land and they want it back and they will come for it. So I don't know.
You see,
I never know.
Let me tell you something.
That you take with them land. I don't want to take with them land, brother.
Voluntary racism, it is called.
Voluntary
racism.
I put it in on them post something and I respond, voluntary racism. And I say same thing that Camilla Johnson was saying in the Senate on Friday. Voluntary racism.
Yeah, man. Voluntary
Have a good day.
racism.
Good evening, my brother.
All right, sir.
Yeah, right.
Cool. The only thing me I say, if none of that St. Elizabeth, you know, I born and grew up Portland. All of my family them there. Me don't know of no family where me have where outside of Portland we never did live at Portland. So I've been here all days of my life. An opportunity presented itself that nobody else wanted. Nobody else. Yeah. And I say it here, an opportunity presented itself that nobody else wanted. Nobody else saw the vision. That's why we thank God for his blessings. Because when God gave something, God gave. And that's all I will say. An opportunity presented itself that nobody else wanted. I took the chance, took the risk. But Elephant Man have one song. Elephant Man have one song. We say, run for cover. Save your mama. 876-804-7072. Caribbean Radio 305-654-7944. Now you have to talk about me. Me have to talk about Jamaica. I am a defender of this country and the rights of this people, of my people. I defend the country and the rights of my people. I don't have nothing to hide. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday morning, I am on this platform with an open phone line like me don't know who call me right now. Good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. Hello? Hello, good evening. Good evening. Well, that person you call and maybe don't want to talk. Because we don't have nothing to hide, we can answer any question. We are here, and we, as patriots, defend this island of Jamaica. I have nothing against a man who live a foreign or who see a better opportunity somewhere else and go get that opportunity, because we are citizens of the world. So you can go anywhere and make a living, and nobody not supposed to stop you. But on the same breath, you're not supposed to go somewhere and see somebody and live and in your way, now take your bread, now trouble your bread, and you want to take them bread. You have to understand life. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Caribbean Radio, the Colin Bell Show.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Bless up.
Bless up.
All right.
Hold on. No headset. If you're having a headset or if you have a speaker, it now.
No, I'm not nothing alone in a workshop. No speaker.
Understand? No, yes. No, me I hear you good. Talk to me.
Yeah. Me I say no, me just listen one of your call I talk about when they calling when they nephew.
Yeah.
He no realize that the poll where Dan Anderson do show you said that nobody no believe in our stats where government where them are give out.
Now move nobody, because it is kind of vulgar and a waste. $20,000. What you ever pick going to the supermarket and pick up one chicken and one?
Me attack crime stats.
Yeah, what you say nobody not believe it?
No, 40 it's still like there.
No.
They were 10 years ago for him 49%.
49.
Of them said them no believe.
Them say them not have no confidence in the JCF. Not that they don't believe the murders are down. They don't have any confidence in the JCF that them can deal with it. 49.something%.
Oh, I'll look a bit of credit upon it. All right, me call about next time.
Yeah, man. So we don't want to get nothing wrong. We want to get the things them right. 49% of Jamaica, based on the RGR commissioned Dan Anderson poll, 49% of Jamaicans say they are not confident about the JCF dealing with crime. Now, the truth is, this thing here really of concern to me. This thing here really concerns me. I don't know who else it concerns, but
does not hear about your heaven. I hear the spirit of a little baby crying, saying, why didn't the people keep the Labour Party government in? If the Labour Party government was in, I would still be alive. I hear the spirit of the 18 babies that have died because of the recruitment of this government. 18 babies have died. She don't need to pass the law. She don't need to lock up anybody to demonstrate her real care and concern for the children of this nation. All she needs to do is to fire the Minister of Health.
hello, nephew. Hello, Mr. Morgan. Call the Prime Minister for me. Call the Prime Minister of Jamaica.
This government does not hear about your health. I hear the spirit of a little baby crying, saying, why did the people keep the Labour Party government in? If the Labour Party government was in, I would still be alive. I hear the spirit of the 18 babies that have died because of the recruitment of this government. 18 babies have died. She don't need to pass the law. She don't need to lock up anybody to demonstrate her real care and concern for the children of this nation. All she needs to do is to fire the Minister of Health.
So, that's the part of me I talk about, where all him need to do is fire the Minister of Health. What is he waiting on? What is he waiting on? Cannot be. Dr. Alfred Dawes.
The Southeast Region Health Authority has confirmed that 24 babies died at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital in the first 24 days of June. Reports indicate that 229 neonatal deaths at the hospital between October 2023 and 2025. The Minister of Health, Dr. Christopher Tufton, must confirm whether these figures are accurate and release the full mortality data from 2020 to the present. The explanation given that prematurity is the cause of these deaths is unacceptable. Prematurity is a medical condition, not a cause of death. This points to a deeper systemic failure in the care for newborns. Victoria Jubilee continues to suffer from overcrowding, understaffing, and outdated infrastructure. There's a chronic lack of essential resources, including cooling blankets, ventilators, and proper parenteral nutrition for neonates. These deficiencies, combined with inadequate staffing, compromise the hospital's ability to manage high-risk pregnancies and provide life-saving neonatal care. Jamaica's maternal mortality rate is now higher than it was 30 years ago. Combined with a spike in neonatal deaths, this reflects a public health system in crisis. Dr. Tufton must answer the following. How many neonatal deaths have occurred at VGH annually over the past 5 years? What has been done to improve these outcomes? What budget allocation was made to neonatal care? Was there a breakdown in infection control? And importantly, why was the public not informed sooner? Jamaicans deserve transparency and accountability. These were not statistics. These were children.
Visit our website at pnp.org.jm or check us out on Facebook at Jamaica PNP.
All right. So that's Dr. Alfred Dawes on his piece. We have a caller holding. Caller, good evening. Hello, good evening, caller. We lost the caller. Oh, it looked like we lost the caller. 876 804 7072 305 654 7944. What a piece of hypocrisy. I heard somebody say this morning that the present prime minister is very good in opposition, but very weak in government. Very poor. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Yes, Mr. Bell. Good evening. First time caller.
Blessings, man. Welcome.
Yeah, man. All right. So, what I understand, the Prime Minister mentioned about the economy, say, he used the term good economic management conveniently. Because what I notice, when it was time for them to take 300%, they said the economy is doing well and the economy can manage it. But when public sector workers are supposed to get compensated, they basically say the opposite. So I don't understand. They are using the term economic management and economic growth conveniently.
Yes. Yes. Very conveniently.
And what I notice, when yourself and other persons spit facts, this gentleman by the name of Marlon Morgan.
Yeah.
You know, you're a little boy and you have a bully where you have a debate and he just want to overtalk you.
Yes.
That's all I see, mother. Every platform I go on, whether the TVJ, anywhere I go, same strategy. But guess what? Jamaican people are wake up.
But you know one of the things.
And all want him to do a call the election.
Yeah, man. I'm more Marlon Morgan continue to annoy the Jamaican people with his bull crap.
Yeah, man. Him annoying bad, man.
With him horse manure.
the man, how can you feel pain? And so that they say, no, man, you're not feeling no pain, man. You're all right.
Then that's, we're warming and telling people and say, shit your yai and go vote. You ever hear nothing? Hey,
yeah, but if you have to tell them to shut your eye, even know something wrong.
I never see this in all my life. What you mean if him knows something wrong? Him not knowing himself say, yo, this guy right, you're not supposed to vote for this man here. So here what? Shit your eye and put the X beside the F in the head.
One last thing I gotta say. Jerry Smalley said everything will come together organically.
Yes.
Just watch it.
All right, my brother. Thanks for the call.
All right, Mr. Bell.
I want to say something to everybody. And just look at it for yourself. And now if you admit it to me, everything what the GLP say, accuse the PNP of. Isn't it them? In that same speech, the man was saying that PNP are cult. Then if you all tell people, say, shut their eye and vote for whether they don't believe in, and what they called. Just do this anyway. For Andrew. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. Good evening.
Good evening, Colin. How are you doing?
Junior Wagwan.
Good day, man.
Talk to me.
I have been going to the clinic just over a year now.
The clinic?
Yes, for this thing.
Which clinic?
The one in Adelphi.
Oh, okay.
And I realized that the young ladies that are pregnant don't miss them appointment.
Junior,
so
it is a blatant disrespect to the ladies of this country, It is a blatant disrespect, and the ladies of this country must rise up against Christopher Tufton. Or you mean the woman them not take care of themselves?
What I observed, when I heard it, I was pissed. What I observed is that even the baby father them coming sometime with the females.
Oh, you mean? Of course.
And then now, what happens? They have like an orientation every morning before they start the clinic. And the midwife will get up and talk. She don't talk to only the females that are pregnant, She talk to everybody, man, woman, girl, and boy.
Talk to
I
them.
explain the procedure.
Yes, sir.
And I can tell you, the nurse informed the mothers that it is very important for them to visit the clinics while they are pregnant.
Yes.
And they explain to them the reasons why. Now, I am a father, and I'm also a grandfather. And I can tell you one thing. I don't meet no Jamaican yet who want to have an abnormal child. I have not met that person. So tell Tufton that him is a liar. The other excuse that they make is this. All of the females now that are pregnant, most of them have their mother and their grandmother around, right?
Yes.
When they are at school, most of the school them now have a nurse that can explain to these girls how to tidy themselves when them small. So when they go and tell us that they lose the baby because them not clean themselves properly, them lose the baby because them not coming to clinic, them lose the baby because them not eating properly, it's a lie. A lie them I tell.
I try and, I think I need my listeners to hear Christopher Tufton. What Junior talking about, my people, what Junior is talking about is that there are some blame. They are trying to shift blames to the mothers. Right, Junior?
Yeah, it's a wicked act.
It's a wicked, and the ladies must not take it. The people and lose them baby, and then you are trying to tell them that it's their fault.
Well,
How
I tell you, it's terrible. The other thing, Colin, one thing more.
Yeah.
I am not very bright. right? But I am having a problem. Why is it that our country is led by so much people that are incompetent?
Boy, it's sad, you know. It's sad.
All the decisions in Jamaica are made by people that are not too bright, you know. Look at this simple thing. I have been watching the economy of Jamaica for the last couple of months.
Yes.
Every day, the government is mopping up liquidity.
And intervening in the market to support the
and
dollar.
intervening in the market, and at the same time suckling out the Jamaican dollar out of the economy. And at the same time, while they are doing that, aggregate demand is weak.
Yes.
If two of them don't work together, you can have a weak aggregate demand and you're mopping up liquidity, you know. That don't make no sense.
None at all.
Because when you're mopping up, that is the money that you're going to spend in the economy to create production. Yeah. Because this consumption drive production, you know.
Yes.
You have to have some level of consumption to produce.
Yes,
that's how the economy grows.
But you have to have production. You can't be investing in the consumption, Junior. What we are doing as a country, we are investing. We find ourselves with a little piece of spare change. And instead of we invest that spare change into agriculture, culture and the creative industry, renewable energy, we basically use it and say go buy food, we put more into consumption. It don't work that way when you're not producing. You have to produce because we are short on foreign exchange.
The problem with consumption that we are federating, you know, is that we have a problem in Jamaica that Michael told us 50 years ago what to do. Eat what you grow and grow what you eat.
There you go.
Because of the ostentatious taste that we had in the 80s, we wanted the Volvos and the video games and the cornflakes and all the things that were more ostentatious with damage the economy.
But it's a culture, you know. And the culture, you know, you have to set the culture, you know. You understand? So culture and creative industry are not just money, but setting the way of life of a people, how people live. Yeah? So like the people them we turn to all of them foreign food there and all of them something there and have left our food is because our culture is also leaving us. And when I realize what we have is really quality and what they bring to us for the cheaper money is really just quantity.
But if you remember, Colin, when Michael Manley was talking about growing where you eat and eat where you grow, when he lost the election, you know, Siaga said to us to just open up the economy and port everything. If you remember them lockdown Jamaica school agriculture.
Yes, right, that's so Junior. Right, that's so. And America is also a part of that, changing the minds of Jamaica and using us. So we know if we just buy from them, like say, we can't do nothing for ourselves.
That's where Jamaica made the first mistake, you know.
Yes, yes.
We made it in 1980. And the worst mistake Jamaica made was in 2016, you know.
That's what the mistake make, you know. 2016, when everything did set for take off, we take it and give it to a bunch of amateurs. Well, not we, they gave it to a bunch of amateurs that said that they were going to grow the economy by 5% in 4 years. To date, they have not gotten to 2%. Sure.
I told my cousin.
Junior.
Yeah.
Short me about a little more. I want to call Doreen Campbell. And I want to see if I find that piece of Christoph Tanya. I think I might have it.
The Integrity Commission says it has completed the examination of all statutory declarations submitted by sitting parliamentarians for the period April 2018 to 2023.
Hold on, this little bit.
But 2024-25 annual report.
20 gigabytes of any use data plus online.
After invest, the referrals were made during the period April 1, 2024 to March 31, 2025, as detailed in the Commission's 2024-25 annual report. The report was tabled in the Senate today and later made public. Since April 2018, The Commission says it has referred a total of 13 members of Parliament, 1 senator, and 7 councillors for similar investigations. The report also revealed that some cases have since been closed after investigation or a preliminary inquiry, including 6 involving MPs. Meanwhile, the Integrity Commission says it has completed the examination of all statutory declarations submitted by sitting parliamentarians for the period April 2018 to 2023. But the Commission notes that this excludes declarations that have been referred for investigation. It says at the end of the recording period, compliance with the requirement to file statutory declarations stood at 76% for public officials and 81% for parliamentarians. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says that 60% of expectant mothers across the country have not been attending essential prenatal visits. He made the disclosure in response to reports that multiple newborns have died at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital since the start of the month. Nakinski Robinson reports.
Of the babies who died this month at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital, 55% were born prematurely and 60% had low birth weight. A baby is considered to have low birth weight if they weigh less than 2.5 kilograms at birth. The Ministry of Health says that chronic diseases in mothers are a major contributor to both low and high birth rates, which often comes with serious complications. A concerned Dr. Tufton says the lack of proper prenatal monitoring paired with uncontrolled lifestyle diseases presented in some pregnant women have directly been linked to preterm babies. Still, the health minister says while several preterm babies have endured, these variables factor heavily in their chances of survival.
In today's day, our children and our women.
Meanwhile, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jacqueline Bisesa Mackenzie says it is to be determined whether the mothers were delinquent in attending crucial prenatal visits. She adds significant resources are needed to sustain preterm babies whose organs are not completely developed and in most cases require support beyond the capacity of the system. 50% of the mothers are below the age of 24, and half of that group are below age 20, indicating that this may have been their first pregnancy.
Oh, Lord. Sorry about that, my listeners and viewers. Sorry about that.
The CMO says that 12.5% are over 35 years or considered of advanced maternal age, while the remaining 37.5% are between 25 and 34 years old. A bacterial outbreak as well as equipment issues at the hospital have been ruled out as a possible cause of death. But Dr. Tufton concedes that labor shortages cannot be overlooked in the conversation.
There is an issue around human resources in terms of the ratio of nurse to babies. I don't know what it is today, but we have had issues where it is 3 times what it should be. 1 to 1 is ideal, 1 to 2 is acceptable. Sometimes we're at 1 to 4, 1 to 5. And that's when you start to have real pressure on the personnel to kind of monitor, especially the very delicate kids.
Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton. Dr. Bisesa Mackenzie also provided an update on investigations.
We have looked so far at some of the baby issues from the side of the baby, which would be what happens in the nursery from the admission to the demise of the infant. But in terms of the maternal issues, while we have very grossly looked at that, we have not honed down on the details of that as yet.
Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jacqueline Bisesa Mackenzie. She's urging mothers to maintain frequent health visits during pregnancy, as well as take early action during delivery to address any issues identified. Nakinski Robinson, Radio Jamaica News.
And opposition spokesperson on health and wellness, Dr. Alfred Dawes, has rejected the Southeast Regional Health Authority's explanation that prematurity was a major contributing factor to the increased neonatal deaths at Victoria Jubilee Hospital. Dr. Dawes says the issue points.
So we're not going to take Dr. Dawes now. But my people, when it happened, when the same thing happened, this is worse than what happened. Because that was 18. This is 24 in one hospital. When 18 in one hospital, in about 3 or 4 hospitals happened, This is what
government
the man said.
does not hear about your health. I hear the spirit of a little baby crying, 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 saying, why did the people keep the Labour Party government in? If the Labour Party government was in, I would still be alive. I hear the spirit of the 18 babies that have died because of the consequences of this government. 18 babies have died. She don't need to pass the law. She don't need to lock up anybody to demonstrate her real care and concern for the children of this nation. All she needs to do is to fire the Minister of Health.
Listeners and viewers, that's the Prime Minister of Jamaica now. 24 babies in one hospital last month. 24. The man you heard spoke a while ago is now the Prime Minister of Jamaica. We have not heard him yet. Maybe the baby them not turned up yet, so you know hear them a cry yet. We haven't heard the Prime Minister on this issue yet. 24 baby died. Mark Golden, you need to start here baby crying, brother. Hey, you need to start here baby crying. I wonder if Doreen hear any baby crying. I wonder if Doreen Campbell or West Portland hear any baby crying. Crying. Said that if they had kept the PNP in power, they wouldn't have died. Ready for me? Hold on. What have you done since those baby died? You are now the Prime Minister of Jamaica. When it happened while you were opposition leader, you could hear the babies crying. I am saying to you now, Mr. Prime Minister, what have you done since that time? And why we haven't heard anything from you? Comrade Doreen Campbell. Good evening.
Yes, Mr.
Comrade Campbell.
Yes.
Good evening
I'm
and
online.
welcome.
I hear an echo though.
You hear an echo?
Where's the back of your stay?
All right.
It's not good.
I hear you talking in the background though.
Okay. I don't stop.
You hear me? You hear me now?
I'm hearing you, but I hear an echo.
You're still hearing the echo?
Yes, I hearing myself twice. Yes.
All right. Let me try to sort that out. Hold the line for me. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Colin.
Yes, sir.
Calling from overseas, as you may have known.
Yeah, man.
I want to ask a question. I hear a lady from East Portland saying something about Boston Beach. What does she mean by that? If I'm trying to understand.
You hear what?
A lady from East Portland.
Yes.
Said she wants Boston Beach.
Then how it sound to you? How it sound?
No, you need to tell me.
No, man, may I ask you how it sound to you?
Very dangerous. Fast land.
Talk to me. Somebody said that you have something. And obviously, you never capture it. And she a ball says she want it. How that sound to you?
So
is there any Jamaican term that you would put to it?
Bad mind.
Me never say so. Me never say it.
Apparently.
But I would ask you though, if you know must. But I'll tell you, it is a court case. So like the Prime Minister carried the Integrity Commission go court, this issue that the lady spoke to on the platform is in the courts.
Okay, good then.
So I'll say that to you. It is in the courts. So I'm not going no further tonight.
Okay, cool.
All right. Respect. Hello? Comrade Campbell, you hearing me any better now? Doreen. Hello?
Hello?
Okay. No, man. All right, you should be hearing me now. Miss Campbell?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
And it's better.
I'm hearing you. I just said I'm hearing an echo.
Bad echo? It's bad?
Yes, I'm hearing myself.
All right, hold the line for me. Let me see if I can fix that. That sounds like a whole about dead ear, people. Let me apologize for the dead ear. Are you hearing me any better now?
I am always hearing you, and I'm not hearing an echo now. So no, none at all.
All right, good. How is everything going?
So far so good.
All right. Have you heard any dead babies crying recently?
Yes, I hear 24 of them crying.
Oh my God!
I hear mothers and fathers crying.
Jesus, you hear the cries?
I hear them crying.
What are your views on this whole situation, Ms. Campbell? As a mother, and let me just make it clear to the people that you are a mother, I am a father.
It's really sad to know that you, as a mother, would have carried a unborn a child for 9 months, 7 to 9 months,
or even 7.
And 7 to 9 months, and upon birth, you can't go home with your baby.
Wow.
That kind of pain is something that only a parent, only a mother can understand who have been through it.
Wow.
And listening to Minister Tufton and the Prime Minister a couple of years ago talking about hearing dead babies cry and who should resign and who should not resign. And I'm very surprised that after 24 dead, I mean, the silence is deafening, because one would have thought he would have asked his minister to step aside at this stage.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's not for anything else but for integrity, let's live up to what you always say.
He said all the Prime Minister needs to do is to fire the minister.
Yes.
So what am we waiting on?
Political expediency. You know, it means that he's a trickster. Because when you were seeking power, you gave an impression like you would not have tolerated.
Yes.
Not in his cabinet, he would not have tolerated it.
Yes.
And now you have a senior minister. And there's no explanation.
They don't care about us.
You know what I don't even think people understand is that one of my constituents told me last week that his daughter broke her hand, took her to the hospital, and he was not able to get the plaster on her hand because there was no plaster available.
At the hospital?
At the hospital.
In a growing economy?
Yes.
Then if the economy is growing and this is the case, that means there's no care.
Absolutely. No plan.
Care for the people.
No care. No vision. And these are things that are kept quiet. And I was very surprised. He actually had to use links and go to a private doctor. Private doctor, they select who they want to give it to because the actual product is short in the country of Jamaica. It's in short supply.
You see.
And nobody's speaking about that. So that's why we're having dead babies. And we're having people sometimes with injuries that after a while leave them crooked. Wow. Their body's crooked because we didn't act fast enough.
Ms. Campbell, I called you on the program this evening because there are some people who have been saying to me that they want to hear you because you are in a constituency that on the face of it, people want to believe that everything is okay down there. People are living their best life, and that they have heard you from time to time saying that it is not so. And they called me and said I should bring you back because you must have covered some more grounds by now to give them an update. What is happening in West Portland, and are you going to make a difference in West Portland? Are you in a position to get that change in West Portland? Talk to us.
I know a lot of persons believe that something great is going on in this constituency. That the people in this constituency, as they have said, is living their best life. One would have thought so. And the only reason why they think so is because we have one of the most powerful members of parliament that sits in the House of Parliament representing this constituency. But unfortunately, maybe he's in a better position from 2007 financially, but the constituency and the constituents have suffered, have deteriorated significantly. And financially, the people have become so much poorer that just the fact that they can get some back to school assistance or anything that they can get to them is almost like a blessing in disguise. It's really sad what's going on in this constituency 18 years later under the leadership of this member of parliament. You know, the coffee farmers have struggled, and a lot of them have walked away from the land simply because there's no road to go there. The price of fertilizer is too high. The cost to pick a box of coffee is too high. And then when they finally get a box of coffee picked, they're getting $8,000 to $10,000 a box for coffee. It is just impossible for them to continue to exist. What we expect, and if I am member of parliament, what one would have expected from a powerful member of parliament,
yes,
is one, first and foremost, fight for the farmers. First of all, the legislation must be put in place to break the monopoly that we have in this country on fertilizer, those who can import the fertilizer. 1 second.
So you're saying that the monopoly that we have on fertilizer and how fertilizer comes into the country, we need to change that. But what about those fertilizers that was donated to Jamaica from the Moroccan government? Did we get any of those fertilizers in Western Portland?
So the only fertilizer that I know that was distributed in Western Portland was a meeting that I went with the minister in Bangarage, and the persons were given some 25 and 50 pound bags of fertilizer, and each person was entitled to one. So the fertilizer that is being given out is given out as if it's, I'm doing this for you. Look how good I am doing for you. But the farmers in West Portland is not asking for handout. The farmers in West Portland is asking for an opportunity to get the correct price for their product, and they will take care of everything else in their lives. It's really, really sad. It's really, really sad that we have reduced our farmers to beggars.
Well, the Minister of Finance said our brethren down there in St. Thomas is tricking the poor farmers. And we really understand that our farmers are poor. But as it relates to those coffee farmers, how would we assist those coffee farmers for them to... I know that these coffee farmers were basically people who were living a good life long time ago when coffee was king. How do we get them back to that place?
Well, that's a good question. The government, not the government, the next government, which is the People's National Party, have already said that they will be having an agricultural development fund that will be used to assist our farmers. The proceeds from the agricultural development fund will assist in ensuring that their equipment is available. Just assist some of these farmers who just can't do it. Anymore with their hands. They just can't. So equipment will be available. Fertilizer will be available at a reduced cost. There will be loans available and grants available from the Agricultural Development Fund that will allow these farmers to be able to get back on their feet. The other thing that will help our coffee farmers is seriously advocating on their behalf. Because funny enough, when the PNP is in power, the price per box of coffee, I think in 2016, was $16,000.
Yep.
$16,000 a box for coffee. Now, what sense does it make that you, in 2016, you're getting $16,000 a box of coffee, and 2025, you're getting $8,000 a box, when the price for coffee has gone up on the world market? Just inflation alone would tell you that it's common sense that you cannot move from 16,000 to 8,000.
So
you just can't.
Your coffee farmers are suffering while the government are giving $20,000.
And I hear it's going to be moving from 20,000 a year going up to 50,000. The Solidarity Program a year going up to 50,000. I don't know, but I hear it going up to 50,000 per person. But don't quote me on that. That's what I heard. I haven't heard gotten any confirmation yet. We have $1 million given away playing football, which, by the way, is very good to have football and night football and all the things that will keep our young people active, especially in sports. But it simply tells me that you have the ability to spend money to ease the burden on the coffee farmers, and you refuse to. But now it's election time and you come in with all the gimmicks, but at the same time, you still continue to ignore the farmers. What I can say to Jamaica and the rest of the world, if you don't take care of the farmers, the entire constituency of West Portland will crumble. It will crumble. It will fail.
Constituency.
It is a farming constituency.
What is the water plight in your constituency, Ms. Campbell? Talk to me about water in your constituency. It's a constituency I know very well, listeners and viewers, so I know right where the problems are. What about water? How are you going to deal with that?
Water continues to be a sore point. I just don't understand it because as far as I'm concerned, our rivers never run dry. Our rivers never run dry in West Portland. So why is it that people live right beside the river and they can't turn on their tap and get water? The source for the water.
Hold on, Ms. Campbell. Christine, I read your message in the chat room on Caribbean Radio. Are you you work in the hospital system in Jamaica? Let me know. Continue, Ms. Campbell.
Yes. So persons live right beside the river, but they can't get water in their pipes. So, and the source where the water is coming from never runs dry. The piping system, the pipes run beside the people's home, but there's no water in that pipe going to the people's. So one of the things that is my focus, that will be my focus as the next member of parliament, is to ensure, first and foremost, that people have water. The thing about it is that it might sound like, oh yes, so how is it you're going to be able to do it and the other person didn't do it? The big difference is care. I care enough to get it done. Because as I said to you, the source for the water is there. The piping system is there. For areas that the water does not go to, it's simply pumping it. If you can own an apartment complex in Kingston that is 10 stories high and water can reach 10 stories high, why is it that water cannot reach to a house that is sitting right beside the river?
You understand? And the 10-story high, I go straight up, And I like it
Thank you.
It go straight up, so it's hard.
It goes straight up. So they pump it up there. So why is it? It's this simple difference between the sitting member of parliament and myself is that I live in the constituency. Yes. When the water goes away, I suffer. When the water comes back, I rejoice, just like the residents.
I have a question.
I feel their pain.
I have a question in the chat room. Doreen, what will you do for the people in New Eden in terms of what? Well, is water again? Water supply pipe to their houses. Yeah.
That's a very good question again.
No, the person is saying there's pipe to their houses, but no water. Well, it's the same thing you just talk about. The river the near the pipe run past, but the people them not have no water in the house. New Eden.
In New Eden, the situation is not even about the river, you know, because they're a little bit above.
Right.
Their problem, and funny enough, whoever that person is, asked them to just come outside and take a look. I'm sitting right in New Eden right now talking to you. I'm actually in the community of New Eden.
Anthony from New Eden. Anthony asking about New Eden. I don't know if he's in New Eden or if he's abroad, but Anthony asking about New Eden.
Well, I'm presently in New Eden as I speak to you. Literally parked up and talking to you. I'm literally there. So, Anthony, big up yourself. I am sitting right outside one of the biggest advocates in the community of New Eden's home, right across from him. And that is his biggest challenge, the issue as it relates to water for this community. And the source is there. What is missing is the will of the member of parliament.
Sister Tanya is saying it's modern days now. Sure. Yeah, man. Time come for these things cut out. We have the technology to do all of the right things. I was squandering money.
Time come for the people. The people. You cannot be in 2025.
Anthony says he's in Florida, but he was born and grew in New Eden. And Carol Allen is asking, where is New Eden? New Eden is in West Portland. You got Oak Bay. If you know Swift River, New Eden is on the top of the hill. Swift River is down in the valley.
Yes. So yes, I'm actually in New Eden sitting. Just as if before, if you want to make the left turn to Swift River,
yes,
I'm right there in the community right now talking to you.
I know you're on
and
your
this
walk.
is a general cry.
I know you're on your walk, so I'm just touching base with you to find out what is happening.
No, man, I'm quite comfortable. I'm quite comfortable because I think people need to understand West Portland. They need to understand the struggle of this constituency. People need to understand that 18 years of this member of parliament stops now. If you have not done anything, if you have not done anything for these people in 18 years, why do you need another 5 years? But then again, I shouldn't have said that because out of his mouth, he said the next 5 years is for his children and his grandchildren, which means the first 18 was for him. Because it's not for the people of West Portland, because the people of West Portland is struggling. How can you not have water in your pipe in 2025? How can you not have water in 2025?
And 14 out of that 18 years, his government has been in power.
Yes.
So he has had state power 14 out of that 18.
And then you come back again asking the people for another 5. And not only that, he said out of his mouth that this election coming up is his last election. So I have a question for him. How is it that you did 18 years and did nothing? Nobody could say anything to you. When the people blocked the road in Craig Mills so that they can get his attention for water, and so they can block the road as much as they want. It's not going to make him move any faster.
Yes, I remember that argument. Yeah.
And I'm actually correct because right now I'm giving them a footbridge instead of replacing the bridge and giving them a footbridge.
So no can walk past if rain fall.
So if rain fall, park your car here and walk, go your yard. That is modern Jamaica we're talking about from one of the most powerful members of parliament in this country. That man can click his finger and make anything happen. As I said, the difference between him and me is that I care for the people of this constituency. I want to see change.
Mickey B is saying, what can you do for the bad road? What can you do about the bad road? I guess I'm all right. From years at Oak Bay. Oh, for years at Oak Bay. Well, in Orange Bay. I don't know which one you thought, Nikki B. Oak Bay or Orange Bay. Somebody's asking about bad road.
What I can say to him about bad road.
Hold on. Is there any bad road in West Portland? All of the road in West Portland must be carpet.
What I can say to them about the roads in West Portland, the only good roads we have in West Portland is the one on the main road, thank God, to PJ Patterson. So if you're coming from Kingston through Anata Bay into Port Antonio, beautiful. More power to PJ Patterson. He's still alive.
Yes.
But once you get off the main road, every single one of the roads is in a deplorable condition. I mean, literally a very bad. I mean, the holes are such that if you're not careful, your tire is cut. So the question is, what are you going to do about these roads? Let me say this to Nikki. When I become MP, the money allocated to West Portland to fix the roads in West Portland will remain in West Portland.
What that mean? What do you mean the money will remain in West Portland?
The 63 constituencies is a part of the SPARK program. Every initiative by the Jamaica Labour Party government, as it relates to road, is divided into the 63 seats.
Yes.
Western Portland is no different. The $140 million that is supposed to be spent on the roads in West Portland is not spent in here. It's not spent, I don't know where it is. But it's definitely not spent in West Portland. So when I see East Portland MP bragging and boasting about fixing road over there, I have to ask the question, where is the money for West Portland? Why the West Portland MP is not being proud and excited about his own accomplishments? Is it that because he has taken the people for granted in West Portland that him don't need to fix the road for them to vote for him?
You don't see no sparks or no reach in West Portland?
No spark and no reach. No spark, no reach, no insight, no nothing. Where is the money?
Christopher Campbell says, I'm living in Barbados, a country without any major river. Yet I have water in my pipe. No black tank in Barbados. And Barbados don't have no big river. They have any river at all? I don't think Barbados have any river. But they have water every day.
But give praises to the administrations before and to Mayor Motley today.
Yes.
They have a vision for their people. They are committed to the development of the country of Barbados. So they are committed to that. In Jamaica, so many politicians go into office, and before you know it, they're millionaires. And the people that they serve continues to be poorer and poorer. Western Portland is a classic case where our people and this constituency has become one of the poorest constituencies in Jamaica.
Tana! What you say?
Look at St. Thomas. Look how St. Thomas has developed with road. We have road that came through Portland.
Long time.
But yet still this member of parliament, and even the one in the east, the responsibility of the member of parliament is to do the basic things, basic road, water, light, communication. That's basic, dance. You don't need to dance and brag and boast for that, But you should cry and you should feel ashamed when you don't deliver things like those, because those are basic necessities of life.
Very,
but what
basic.
an MP should do, remember, member of parliament in West Portland, is technology minister, is transport minister,
Hold on, Miss Campbell, just hold a sec for me. Let me just thank all the people on Caribbean Radio HD for being with us this evening. We're not going to be on tomorrow, so we're going to be doing a rebroadcast of one of our programs tomorrow evening. So Caribbean Radio, big up on yourself. See you next week, Tuesday, when we'll be doing the 2 days next week. So I want to just thank all the people on Caribbean Radio. Sister Tanya, Sister Claudette, Nikki Boo, Sister Cynthia, Servant David, all of the Caribbean Radio people, big up on yourself. Thanks for watching. Please remember to watch those 2 videos on Portland Spice TV. Subscribe to the channel, like and share. One love, Caribbean Radio. Yes, Miss Campbell, continue. We are on Portland Spice TV. Miss Campbell?
I'm on. Sorry, I'm on.
Yeah, man. Continue. Just let's finish up and let you go back to your work.
Yeah.
So
no, I'm just disappointed. That's all. I'm just very disappointed. I was excited that at least this constituency would have a reprieve because we have a man with a lot of money as an MP over here. So I thought the constituency would have been on the receiving end of his success. Unfortunately, the people have gotten so much poorer that now back to school is coming. And I guarantee you, as a matter of fact, I went to a graduation this morning.
Yes.
I was invited to speak. And I went to the graduation. I gave the graduating class a small token.
Yeah.
And a message was read for the sitting member of parliament. And in his message, he had the nerve to mention his back to school assistance program. Now, what can go so?
Keep the people
What your message is supposed to be is to say to the people that I have a plan to create jobs for you. I have a plan that is going to help you financially. I am going to use the resources that you have here. And instead of having lands going idle, I'm going to go through serious citrus farming. I'm going to have cold storage facility in your constituency so that you can farm all year round. I am going to have a juice factory so that some people can get some work, a call center so some people can get some work. I am going to create a community college so that people can now learn artificial intelligence, so that people can now have construction training, so that we have masons and carpenters that is exportable. I am going to set up a school so that our young men and young women can learn to be operators of heavy-duty equipment so that they are marketable. These are the messages when you have millions of dollars of government resources at your fingertips, plus the power that comes with it. This is what I expect from a powerful MP, that you are going to be fighting to make people's lives better. Comrade, Sir Colin Bell, we could talk the whole day.
Yes, about the problems of Western Portland.
But I hope you understand, I just outlined to you some of my plans in a nutshell.
Yes, clear. And we have to keep talking, but there is something happening in Portland from tomorrow to Thursday. Tell my listeners and viewers about that.
Well, come tomorrow, we have the pleasure of hosting the next Prime Minister of Jamaica, Mark Jefferson Golding, in both Eastern Portland and Western Portland. So tomorrow, we spend time in East Portland with Comrade Isaac Buchanan, who will be the next Member of Parliament for Eastern Portland.
Yes, he will.
Yes, so we're going to be touring with him tomorrow, and then he will be joining us on Thursday in the west of Portland. The evening, we're going to be going in through Hope Bay, up through, a phone call coming in. But we're going to be going through Hope Bay, up through the hills, up to Mount Herman to Skibo. We're going to be stopping at the agro-processing packaging facility in Spring Garden, then to the Diamond in Buff Bay. Once we leave the Diamond in Buff Bay, which is a major problem with that river, once we leave the Diamond in Buff Bay, we're going to be heading up to the community of Bangeridge, up into the hills, the cool hills of Bangeridge, so that the Mark Jefferson Golding can get an understanding of the struggles of the coffee farmers up into the hills. Once that is completed, we're now going to have a rally in the town of Buff Bay with Philip Paulwell and Patricia Duncan Sutherland. We're going to have at least 10 different speakers across the region and across Kingston and St. Andrew. We'll be descending on Portland in Buff Bay.
So let me tell them some of the speakers.
Starting at 6 o'clock.
Let me tell them some of the speakers. You have Isaac Buchanan, Philip Paulwell, Comrade Rosemary Shaw, Comrade Hubert Williams, Comrade Patricia Duncan Sutherland, Comrade Joan Gordon Webley, Comrade Ryan Simpson, who is also out of Portland, Comrade Omar Newell, and Comrade Chris Brown. A stellar lineup.
Absolutely. So that's how we're going to bring the curtain down on a 2-day tour of our next Prime Minister of Jamaica.
We're saying to the listeners and the viewers here, Comrade Campbell is in a battlefield now, because some people are going like say it's a done and dusted. No, it's not. And if you want to see Miss Campbell take this back and start working for the people, you can also support our campaign. How can people support your campaign?
So my number is 876-503-6271. There's a campaign account at JMNB. At JMNB, would you like me to give the account number?
Yes, go right ahead.
All right. So the account name is DC Services at JMNB on Knoxford Boulevard.
Yeah.
Checking account number 000-300-231-517. So that is DC Services at JMNB, Knoxford Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
Checking account number 000-300-231-517.
All right.
And I'm glad you brought it up, because it doesn't make sense we sit back and we talk and we don't do. If you want to see a rebuilding of Western Portland by a committed person who lives in the constituency, who lives amongst the people, who have already served as a councillor in this constituency before, and understand the terrain of this constituency, help me to make that change.
Yes. Invest.
Help me.
We are inviting you to invest in the campaign, my listeners and viewers, because this one is for the people, and it will not be controlled by any big corporation like what we have now. So thank you, Miss Campbell. We'll talk.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a good one.
Yeah, man. So that was Doreen Campbell, the PNP candidate for Western Portland. And yes, poised to be the next member of parliament when Andrew call it. Because we're still waiting on Andrew to hear the babies crying. My listeners and viewers, I'm telling you something. It is very sad when you have people running the country who takes responsibility for nothing. And here we are this evening again, sitting down, looking, and being lied to. I say, open up your eyes and see the thing them for yourself. See the hypocrisy that is happening for yourself. The man say, Portia must just do the one thing. Portia must just do one thing and fire the minister.
Does not hear about your health. I hear the spirit of a little baby crying, saying, why did the people keep the Labour Party government in? If the Labour Party government was in, I would still be alive. I hear the spirit of the 18 babies that have died because of the Republican government. 18 babies have died. She don't need to pass the law. She don't need to lock up anybody to demonstrate her real care and concern for the children of this nation. All she needs to do is to fire the Minister of Health.
All she needs to do is to fire the Minister of Health. So What is he doing now? He can't talk to the Minister of Health. Can't talk to nobody. What a thing. Somebody asking for the account number. I'm trying to get it for you. Trying to get it for you. Because everybody needs assistance in the politics. And once you are willing to assist and invest in the campaign, that's what we talk about. So, it's a 2-day tour. The leader of opposition and president of the People's National Party, Mark Colin, tours Portland. It's a 2-day tour, not a 1 day or a 1 constituency. 2 days. So, I want to check it out. But my people, there are more things happening where we not touch upon yet. The Gleaner had submit for an ATI, access to information, to get the info on why the job description was changed for Dennis Chung to get the job. And they denied the they denied it. I think I'm supposed to have Jody, you know. Jody this morning went through it. I think we can listen to some of it.
As a founding chair of National Integrity Action and former president of the private sector organization of Jamaica, Mr. Howard Mitchell. Good morning, Howard Mitchell, and welcome.
Morning, Jody, and you have an alarming tendency for hyperbole.
Listen, alarming tendency? If your CV is 15 pages, I can only read 2 at a time, Howard Mitchell. It's not my fault that you're so involved. It's yours. Glad to have you inside the morning agenda. Let's talk about what we saw. On the cover of the Sunday edition of the Gleaner was blocked. Government denies request for details on change to FID job. And when the Sunday Gleaner, in an ATI request of June 3, said to the Office of the Services Commission, tell us what you did when you made a change. The Office of the Services Commission first advertised the post, the top post as the head of the Financial Investigations Division, indicating that the candidate must have at least 12 years of experience in law enforcement, 5 of them at a senior level. This 2 decades of practice, that's the standard that was there. It was removed. So the Sunday Gleaner asked, hi, what documents can we see? What information is there? What can we then show about the choice that had been made, the decision by the Office of the Services Commission? The Gleaner was told, no, denied. Denied. Minutes and memos, denied. Current job description, denied. List of applicants, denied. Any assessment or evaluation, mostly denied. Any communications with the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service concerning the selection of the Chief Technical Director, denied. The reasons for the requirement of law enforcement experience being removed, denied. Disclose who gave the instructions, denied. Disclose how many candidates were shortlisted after the first advertisement, denied. Why none of those shortlisted candidates were selected, denied. How many candidates were shortlisted after the second advertisement, denied. Only one was granted, a copy of the signed contract of employment for Mr. Dennis Chung. This has been a big conversation. This is something that has had quite a lot of viewing around it. But now when we ask a question through the legislation that empowers citizens to find out what's going on behind the scenes, we are all being told no. What was your response and reaction to this information coming into the pipeline?
I think this thing is now a matter of policy.
All right. Show man. Where are you?
Yeah.
Well, go on.
What me I say? You have called Darrell Voss. Afraid of Darrell Voss.
Afraid of Darrell Voss for?
You have to call him and talk to him about water and road. That the woman they can't me no help. Because she no MP. She no run this up. And she not going to ever run this up.
But
Talk
sure,
to boss, because you can't crack the boss.
Sure, man. For 18 years, 18 years there was an MP, you know, if not 19, you know.
You know, you don't ever talk to him, Shaka.
But the man not do no work. The man don't beat up him chest and make him think him do work. Make him
well,
come
me
out.
not live on the but also all the people them love him so they vote for him.
You know, that's why we are telling people them now, so if you stop vote for him, now vote for this man.
But they're not going to change Shaka. They're going to still vote for him.
He has not served them well. They're not going to vote for him this time. Watch and see. You're going to get the surprise of your life.
No far as I go crack this, brother.
It's all right. You will see.
The two of us safe, Shaka. Portland safe.
I hear you, my boss. We will see.
St. Thomas safe.
We will see what we will see when we shall see. Tell Andrew to call it.
You hear what the data man say for you? Yeah, listen to the data man.
What him say?
Oh, the data man say, boy, I already check on the data and already reveal it here. So no way. Lawrence Rose, so no way.
Lawrence Rowe.
And him had the data man for you.
That's why them give Lawrence Rowe him think. You know, your Lawrence Rowe saying vote for you in the last election.
Never vote for you.
I saw the man say, no. I him say
no
so.
Vote for you, but he must
so
problem. Hold on. Listen, me, don't tell me no more up here. Yes, not going to tell me, I can't say about Portland.
I him say so.
If no vote for you, brother, I don't see my man, don't come in them problem.
The man say, in the last election, he vote for MP. So the man said.
Must you look how grand you talk?
No. Man, vote for no.
I'm going to vote for you now.
He vote for no in 2022, I saw him say.
I'm going to vote for you now and campaign with our MP for liquor McGregor foot.
Ah, man. Well, him do it already, the people him now make him do it again.
It's all right, you know, you watch him also don't go with Lawrence and the MP. You watch it. You don't watch the right thing.
Yeah,
just like when you say,
what you talking about?
You don't watch him. You watch him Westmoreland.
Yes, man. We see, man.
All right. Shaka. I can't wait for the boss call his re-election. When election pass, I'm going to call the next day, man. Probably me yesterday, Port Antonio after the heart attack, man.
No, I have no heart attack because
oh, no, can't wait the election.
The PNP will form the next government.
No way.
You will see. The people are finished. The people of Jamaica is tired of the lies, the incompetence, the lack of vision, the squandering of the money. The people are tired of that. The people are looking for a new direction where we are going to grow this economy by 7% when we turn up global logistics, when we turn up culture and the creative industry, when we invest in agriculture, cut the import bill by 25%. We are going to grow this country and bring back real prosperity to the people of Jamaica.
Shaka!
What?
The private sector free down like a pussy. Money people them free down because who don't sing something government make them lose everything. Them free down.
The money people them free that the jail piece. Everybody a lose now. Everybody a lose every time you list every company. It is the stock exchange. Show man. Listen to the stock exchange in the mornings and you will hear what's happening. Companies are losing money. Even Metro Siaga company, their profit fall by 87% over the weekend. What?
Shaka.
Yeah.
When you know a rule, you know run country, you know go grab money, private sector run country, when you know a rule.
May I take a next call?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. You're live on Portland Spice TV.
Hi, Colin. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon and welcome.
Right. I just tuned into your show, so I don't know what went before. But I just want to comment on the whole thing of information and credibility. I heard the Minister of Information say this afternoon that the cleaners' request for a document with regard to the change in the job description requirements could not be met because there was no such document. Yet still, the Solicitor General did not say there was no such document. So there's a credibility gap there.
Major.
Such an important decision was taken and nothing was committed to writing, even email.
I heard she tried to simplify it. I was listening, but I missed it. I never remember if I go listen
Right.
it, you know. She was
Let me
find it. I'm going to find it. Go ahead.
Right. She said there was no document, so a document couldn't be provided. I think she was just being technical. A decision like that must have been backed by something in writing. And it reminded me of when the Prime Minister went to India and she was responding at a press conference. And she said it was a rush trip, so they didn't have time to inform the media and people. And then she said that the tech were spent.
Caller, I want you to hold on for me because I want to hear what she said.
Okay.
NHF beneficiaries enrolled for diabetes can get a glucometer with use of their NHF card.
Let me bring
Apply
back
online
RGR
at
News. And people, let me give credit where it's due.
The time by the
clips I
NHF
played
is
earlier from RGR 94.
12 o'clock and the midday news is brought to you by
So we're
KFC,
going to the midday
celebrating
news to
50
hear
years of finger
what
licking
she
good
said.
memories. KFC, it's finger licking good.
We're going to the midday news.
Up next on Radio Jamaica.
I heard it during the Beyond the Headlines. I don't know if it's a carry forward from midday or something new. Oh, it emanated in the press conference. It could have been in the midday news.
It is the press conference. The cabinet.
Good afternoon. I'm Lorraine Walker with the Midday News. The government says it will not renew the Jamaica Public Service Company All Island Electricity License when it expires on July 8, 2027. Energy Minister Daryl Vaz made the announcement today, confirming that new licensing terms will be negotiated for the supply of electricity across the island. Mr. Vaz says the JPS has been formally notified of the government's intention, which has been done as stipulated 2 years ahead of the expiration date. He stressed that it is not the intention of the government to take charge of the operations of the JPS, but to secure a new framework which better serves the people of Jamaica.
The development where the government of Jamaica has essentially formally notified the JPS of its intention to, at the expiration of the current license, not pursue renewal under existing terms, has come in the context of developments in the wider electricity sector where there has been a significant global reduction in the cost of renewables. The government of Jamaica is determined that consumers of electricity in Jamaica should be placed in the best position to benefit from these developments. The current licensing arrangements with the JPS does not provide sufficient incentives to bring renewables into the grid at the scale.
Energy Minister Daryl Vaz. Mr. Vaz says the government is open to exploring expressions of interest from all parties which may be desirous of acquiring the new license, including the JPS. In light of the recent call from the private sector for Jamaicans to know why the law enforcement requirement for the Financial Investigations Division's top job was dropped, the government says it has nothing to hide. Chartered accountant Dennis Chung was appointed on June 2 under a 2-year $13.9 million annual contract. His appointment has faced strong resistance from the parliamentary opposition and civil society groups. On Sunday, the Gleaner reported that the Office of the Services Commissions that hires certain public servants denied its access to information requests for records explaining the removal of the minimum requirement for 12 years law enforcement experience, including 5 at a senior level. But Minister of Information, Senator Dr. Dana Morris Dixon, says the government has been open and transparent.
And just to note again, there is nothing to hide in relation to that selection process. There was a process that was engaged with and a candidate was selected. There were 2 rounds that were done. In the first round, a candidate was selected, but that candidate opted not to accept the position. The panel that had been doing the interviews, the panel decided that they had to go back out in order to get a new candidate because the candidate from the original round did not accept the offer.
Minister of Information, Senator Dr. Dana Morris Dixon. She was speaking this morning at the Ministry of Energy press conference. The original post, advertised in November 2024, included that experience requirement. Retired Deputy Police Commissioner Fitz Bailey, who had been selected in the first round, declined the offer on January 21, 2025. 2 days later, the OSC re-advertised the post, but this time without the law enforcement requirement. Dr. Morris Dixon says the advert was amended to widen the pool.
And you put out an ad and you do your interviews and you select someone, and then that person says, no, I don't think I'm going to take up this opportunity. Many entities go and do another round, and sometimes they may change the ad, trying to get a broader pool of persons to be interested, and that is actually what happened there. And so the ad was changed to get more people. Now, that didn't seem controversial to the team because the criteria in relation to law enforcement experience was not one that was there from the very beginning. And if you look at those who have headed the FID, they have not had law enforcement experience except for one.
Minister of Information, Senator Dr. Dana Morris Dixon. She says a press release will be sent out later today. Radio Jamaica.
Okay, Colin. That's what happened, yes. But I think RJR carried a different clip in their 5 o'clock news, because the one I heard was speaking to the lack of a document. If you listen to RJR at 5 o'clock, she was right. I think in order to freshen the news item, they took out a different clip. The reporter used a different clip because the clip they was saying that the fact is there was no document, and the ATI requires a document to be submitted. So if there was no document, nothing could be submitted. That's what I'm saying. Her credibility seems to be really going through the door because she tends to speak contradictory sometimes. And I think probably she was not trained in her area, and that's why she says things without realizing that it doesn't make sense if you analyze what is being said at the end of the day. There must have been something, an email or something. Right, and it really looks bad. And it as I tell you, it creates a great credibility gap for me, and I'm sure it does so for other people.
Oh, sorry, listeners and viewers. I realized that you weren't hearing when I speak. Yeah, man. So it really bad. Right. And but she don't believe what she has said. She just has said it because it was given to her to be said. That's how I see it. That's my opinion.
Right. And allied thing I'd like to go on to, I won't stay too long, but there's this whole thing of misinformation and disinformation.
Yes.
And in this period, misinformation I've learned is when you make an error, you deliberately present. But disinformation is when you go out and coin what you know. I suppose that's the fake news. You coin something you know not to be true, and you put it in the public space, knowing that nobody's going to interrogate the data. Yeah. And this is where media comes in. I see overseas they have fact checks where the media would go and fact check the things officials say. I don't see that being done in Jamaica. And the classic example I had was the ombudsman funding. Minister Chuck said $60 million was allocated to the new ombudsman arrangement, the same as had been allocated to the previous ombudsman. And Donna Parchment Brown came on shortly after and said, I've never had more than $20 million.
Yeah,
and that and nobody in the media went and tried, and that is something that could be checked. No, Annual reports are available.
But Donna did come and rubbish it, that she never get that kind of money.
Right. But Colin, what does the average person there go? Who they're going to believe, Donna or Minister Chuck?
People are now realizing that this administration have a lot of people who just lie. I mean, Minister Chuck in the parliament said that Linstead now have a model courthouse. And when he was on Power 106 and the host Kemal McEachran asked him if there's a public bathroom there, he said no. In a model facility. So I think the digital age is catching up on them. And I am convinced that the people of Jamaica are finished with this administration. They have seen the lies, they have seen the misspent, they have seen the incompetence, and time come.
Right. The media must play a bigger role, though.
Yeah,
I know that.
But in my days, must stand up.
I used to work in the media. I used to work in news. And in my days, we had beats, reporters covering beats, and they were follow-up stories on their beats.
Yes.
We also had files. We had our futures file, our futures. Futures, when a story was written, we had to do 3 copies. One you put in the newscast, one you put in the copy of the newscast, one you put in your futures file, one you put in your futures future. Yeah. And the reporter would go to those files and say what is coming up in the short term, what is coming up in the long term. But it doesn't seem to be happening again. So things are just 9-day wonder. And that's why sometimes persons can say what don't go so and get away with it.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you very much for the call.
Okay, bye.
Blessings.
All right.
Yeah, man. Listeners and viewers to Portland Spice TV, let me thank you very much for joining us this evening. Tomorrow is going to be a big day. Thursday is going to be a big day. Make certain you click the notification bell because we are going to be on and off. We're going to be carrying as much as we can carry from the tours of the leader of opposition. We are going to carry as much as we can. So make certain you click the notification bell, share up the channel. We're going to carry the mass meeting. We're going to carry some of the tours because yeah, we're going to see what going and see how much of it we can make on see. All right, thanks everybody. Have yourselves a wonderful evening. May the good Lord continue to bless and keep you all. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his light and give you his peace. Until we meet again, thanks for watching the Colin Bell Show. Please subscribe, like, and share Portland Spice TV. Remember, we want to be what you want to see.